And I am live. It is Wednesday. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Even if you haven't joined yet, when you come in, please, today is a great day. I want you to be able to ask questions. I have a guest today, but first, it is Wednesday, and on Wednesdays, we are live. Wealth Wednesdays, Wealthy Wednesdays, yeah, uh, Winning Wednesdays, whatever it is that you want to call it. Today is it. We all know it's my favorite day of the year. Sorry, my favorite day of the week. My brain is not working today because I am just not feeling well. I'm sure you can hear this raspiness in my voice, but thank God I do not have to talk as much today because I have a guest that's gonna be talking about some important things about personal credit. So if you have been wanting to ask a question about credit, today's the day to pop it in the chat and ask. If you are one of those people who do not want to pay these people to help you and then you're paying them $99 a month and your credit is not moving, you want to be on here today and pop a question in the chat. You ask the question for your friend or whomever, right? I am Carmen Bernard. I'm founder and CEO of Big Facts. We help people to protect their income. We help people to eliminate debt in 9 years or less. We help people to create an income stream for retirement that's tax free and that you cannot outlive. And last but not least, we help people to create a legacy of generational wealth as well as reduce taxes. All right, today I have with me Miss Tiffany Parker Banks. So let me tell you a little bit about Miss Tiffany. She is a business consultant. She's located here in the state of Georgia. She's a licensed realtor here in Georgia. She's the founder and creator of the Black Owned Business Network, which you probably see me go live sometimes to have over 10,000 people. And if I'm wrong, I'm going to ask her to correct me in there. It might be 100,000. I'm not even sure. But she is a serial entrepreneur and knows what she's talking about. And so, without any further ado, I would like to bring to you Miss Tiffany Parker Banks.
Hello.
Hello, Tiffany.
Hey, how are you?
I am doing, well, I was going to lie and say that I'm doing well, but I'm not doing well. I'm not doing so good today. But listen, that's not going to stop this show because I want people to, um, I want people to get this information. And we have a responsibility to share information in our community. And I thank you for agreeing to come on here and talk about personal credit. And if you're here, listen, next week, come back. She's going to be talking about business credit. And I'm not talking this crap that people tell you. I'm telling you, she knows what she's talking about because she's actually doing it. So she's got receipts, y'all. So welcome to the Big Legacy Talk Show. I call this section Factually Speaking because that's what we do. We bring facts and
Thank
nothing but
you.
the
Thank
facts.
you. I'm happy to be here. One of my things is to empower people. So I was glad to be here to speak to people about personal credit. I want all of us to be in a position to succeed in whatever it is that we're trying to do. So, I mean, I'm glad to be here. I'm going to share as much as I can and help as many people as I can. I mean,
Awesome. So one of the first things I told them that you were a business consultant, you're licensed real estate in Georgia, you're a serial entrepreneur, and you're the founder of the Black Owned Business
network.
Network page.
hmm
And I said that we have over 10,000 people in there. It's more, isn't it?
It's over 75,000 people. The network was started, I want to say, back in 2010. And actually, it was started in response to uh, racial injustice. It wasn't started per se as something that, okay, we just need a business network. Um, what was going on back then? I want to say that it was Trayvon Martin or it was yeah, it was Trayvon Martin. And I said, look, we need to do something to empower our community, to network. And I do believe that economic empowerment is pertinent. It's crucial to our advancement. And so I was a business owner, and I said, well, what is my expertise? What is something that I can start to get people involved with something that I know about? Because I don't like talking about or doing things that I have no experience in. And I said, we'll do a Black owned business network, because I thought it was very important that we start something to network, to address our position in the economy, and to support each other, because I felt like at that time that's what we needed to
I
move
definitely agree.
forward.
Yeah, I agree. And we need it
Yeah,
now. And it's awesome that
yeah,
it's
more than
grown.
ever.
Right. It's awesome that it's grown to over
Yeah,
75,000. Um, um,
75,000. We have about just as many followers as we have likes. So we have about 75,000 likes, and we have about 75,000 followers, or it may be a little bit more, but last I checked, it was about 75,000.
That is super awesome. All right, so I want to get into the meat and potatoes of this credit thing right now,
Okay.
because I know that there are people out there that's struggling with their credit. And although I mean, you can scroll, you don't have to scroll too far before you see someone offering business credit or helping people to repair their credit and things like that. I, for one, typically click on those things, not because I have a problem per se with my credit that I need fixing or I need bringing up. I can stand for my credit to get to 850. It's not at 850.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's almost 800, like 778, or it was like 12 points short of 800 when I last checked it, and I should check it more often.
So you're
But
almost at exceptional.
right. So, but and I still click on those things. And the reason I click on those things is just to see what people are offering to people out there. And a lot of times it's misleading, whatever they say. When they say, I can help you, I'm helping 12 people by midnight, you know, and you click on it or whatever. And it turns out to be something like they want you to join their company. They're going to get they're saying they're going to get your credit fixed. They're saying that however, in order to do that, you need to go out and sell this credit program. And many people are so not comfortable with that, because what am I selling? I don't even know if it works. You didn't show me that it works on mine, so I don't
Wow.
know if it works.
Yeah, so I was not aware that the credit repair has turned into an MLM business.
Oh yeah, it's a big MLM
This is my
business.
first time ever hearing about that, but I will say this, and I'm not gonna, I don't know a whole lot about these credit repair companies. I know a little about them, but I'm not gonna call everybody's company a gimmick, because some people will tell you that I have gotten results, but for the most part, credit repair. If you see all of these credit repair people, this is just a trend now.
Yes.
This is a trend now. What happens is you'll sign up, and they'll say that I can do A, B, C, and D. And what happens is um, they'll get things deleted off your credit, but they'll come right back. So you
Yes.
have to really know what you're doing when you're dealing with people's credit. So, and the process that they use is a process that people can generally use themselves. They just fire off a bunch of letters, um, and that's how they get it off. But eventually, it comes back on. So part of the credit repair or getting your credit worked on, that is part of the process, but it's not the entire process. And what you have is people running these companies, and that is all they are willing to do is fire off, letters, the same letters with the same language in the letters, and they just keep doing it over and over again in hopes that whatever is deleted will not reappear on your credit report. But the process is a little bit more complicated than that. I am also a student of law, so I understand legalese and I can understand a document when I'm reading it. I know what certain words mean that the average person does not know. I know how to structure um, letters, and that's something that fly by night companies or just people that's not what they're familiar with. You can send off letters, but the letters need to say certain things.
Right, right.
They need to have certain things. They need to have certain language in them,
Language, right.
and that's not what you're getting when you go to a credit repair company. These they just send them off. I mean, we have one big company, Lexington Law Firm. It's a law firm. They have very good results from what I hear because they're a law firm. They know the language, and that's part of credit repair. You have to be willing to do the research. You have to know what's going on. You have to know the law, what's changing, um, what is permitted, what is not. It's just not enough to cite the fair credit reporting. People just put that in there. You have to actually know what it says, what's
Right.
allowed, what's not allowed. So people think that, okay, we'll just get these people and we'll just shoot off letter after letter after letter, and if they don't verify this in a certain amount of time, then it comes off, and if they don't do this in 30 days, then it comes off and it goes away forever. That's just not how it works.
Wow. So, what would you say to the young lady that's listening today that, might be a single mom, has gotten in some trouble with credit, um, where do they start? What do they do first? What did they say?
I'm going to be very honest. If you have bad credit, fair credit, you need to get started. Everything is not going to be disputed off. You can dispute errors off. You can find different loopholes within the law to dispute things off. But honestly, to get your credit to where it needs to be to navigate in this world that we live in successfully and without strain and struggle, you have to work on your credit. I am in the business of preparing people to buy homes because I'm a realtor. So it takes time. There are things. If I put people in contact with my loan officer, she'll tell you, like, you have to do A, B, C, and D. The first thing you have to do is stop missing payments. If you have something that you're missing payments and late payments, that is the worst thing for your credit. The worst thing. You have that will affect your credit almost more than anything. You want to stop missing payments. So for people who have bad credit, first you have to get started. Know where you stand, get your credit report, know what your score is, and start from there.
So, can you let's start here. What is the definition of bad credit, fair credit, good credit, and excellent credit?
Okay, I wrote it down. I'm gonna give you the numbers. So, um, according to FICO, your poor credit is from 300 to 549. So some people are like, I got five something. That's poor. That's not good. It's poor credit. Your satisfactory, which is fair, it'll say fair if go check it. It is from 550 to 579. Your above satisfactory is 580 to 619. So even if you're in the 600s, you're still having, probably having an issue getting very good interest rates and stuff like that, even in the 600s. So when you get into 620 to 679, that is what they're calling good credit. I call it all right credit.
Okay.
That's what I call it, 620 to 679. Then you have 680 to 750. That is very good.
So
Very
I
good.
have to tell you that, and thanks for giving us that definition. So if anybody was listening, now you know where you fit,
Mhm.
right? So for me, I have what you say, all right credit, or as they say, good credit, right? My thing is, um, I want this to be for everybody, right? I want this to be for the people that are in the five somethings, the people in the six somethings, the people in the seven somethings. I looked at my credit report. I saw no reason why my stuff, I didn't have late payments on there. I don't know why my thing was 12 12 points short of 800. Now, it might have gone up by now. I don't know. I need to pull it again because I did this probably early in the year. Right. And one of the reasons I do not worry too much about my credit is because I froze it. So, like, even when I try to do something and be like, unfreeze your credit. And if I don't feel like unfreezing it, I don't. And I was like, okay, forget that. I'm not going to do it because it's too hard. But what for that person that do they call somebody like you and help have you review it with them to tell them what is causing this thing to be stuck at 780, 778, whatever?
Well, a 800 credit score it's very rare. Only 23% of the people have an 800 or above credit,
Wow.
because the limit is 850, and so 800 is considered exceptional. Even if you're doing everything right, it could take you several years to get to 800, because at this point they're looking at the length. You're doing everything right. They're looking at the length. They're looking at the length of or consistency of what you're doing. So that factor, just like they're looking at the length of your account, they have all these little things that they look at that determines if you get there or not. But 23% of the people, 800 or better.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily anything you're doing wrong.
Hmm.
It's just that it's a time game. It's a
Hmm.
time game.
Hmm.
You can get there.
Okay. So going back to the people that are in the poor credit and you say they have to start, you said that they need to stop missing payments. So right now they're probably missing payments. Now some of them are missing payment just because of irresponsibility. People are like, whatever, you know. Some of them might be missing payments because, you know, we had lots of things happen and they just can't make those payments right now. What do you say to them to in order to get to a point where they're not missing payments, at least for the first thing? What do they do?
Well, the first thing they'll have to do is create some type of budget. I know that, we always say that I just don't have it. I just don't have it. But when we look very, very close, we have it. We have it. Even if we have to make those minimum payments, it has to be a give and take. When you are serious about getting this done, you'll find where you're spending money over here that you don't have to. Maybe you're going out to eat. Maybe you can cut corners somewhere else or whatever. But you have to. That's part. You have to budget. You have to budget, and
All starts
you have to find that money.
Yeah, it all starts with knowing where your money is going. People
Right.
are always shocked
It can
when
be
I
a,
go,
a Netflix subscription.
right.
You're gonna
People
have
are
to
always shocked.
sacrifice something. Cut that out. But
Right.
it has to be something you can. The money is there.
Mhm. I agree with you because people are shocked when they realize how much money they're actually bringing in. And then they're like,
Right.
but where is my money going? And because we don't track money anymore, we're not like, you know, there was a time when you had a passbook, so you couldn't spend more than you had, or, you know, but now we are not that we added credit, and believe it or not, we do need credit in order for the world to go around. You
Hmm.
know, otherwise it will take us a very, very long time to increase productivity. But we're not using credit responsibly. So, like you said, there might be people that don't realize that they're spending five, six, seven, $800 on coffee at
Hmm.
Starbucks,
Hmm.
and they're spending Netflix now. If you have some kids, you need to have four screens. It's now $20 a month,
Yeah.
right? Because the kids are trying to look at something. This one is looking at something else. This one is looking at something else. $20 a month. That's like $240 a year
Right.
that you can attach to another bill. So very good, very good, very good. That so
Yeah.
first
I
thing,
will write down everything, every expense that I can think of for the month. Everything. How much do I spend on food? How much do I spend on bills? How much do I spend on miscellaneous? And when you start looking at those numbers, then that's where you can figure out okay, I can take money away from here to at least make, if you have credit cards that are behind, to at least make the minimum payments on there. Keep making, as long as you're not missing payments and you're not late. Um,
Right.
you, even if you're making a minimum, people say, try to pay more, but if you cannot, at least pay the minimum. You want to stay out of the missing payments and late payments category.
Right.
Pay the minimum until you can start paying it, and pay it down. And once you start paying it down, do not use it.
Do not
Don't
use
use
it.
it. Don't use
Freeze
it.
it. Put it in the
Freeze it.
freezer. Cut it up.
Cut it up. Because if you have bad credit, it needs to be cut up anyway.
Yes.
It
Yes.
needs to be cut up. You don't need to be using that.
So what I
Not,
hear you saying, what I hear you saying is do not miss payments, do not have late payments. And
right,
if you're listening to me on LinkedIn, welcome. Today's the first, this is the inaugural show for LinkedIn today. Sorry you get sick me, no makeup me, but hey, I'm about giving information. All right. So they no late payments, no missing payments, and create a budget. And more importantly, write down everything so you can track what you spend. So write down everything at least for 30 days to find out where your money is really going.
right, right.
Awesome. All right. So
So,
next question.
mhm,
Tell us a little bit about the makeup of your credit. We know what's good, bad, and excellent. Tell us about the makeup of it, because
okay,
sometimes people are catching pieces of information. There's this
mhm,
person telling them, listen, you can go apply for this many credit cards here, there, and there, and there, whatever, and you can get this, and that will help you. And you can do this, the shopping bucket trick, this trick, that trick, all sorts of tricks. But people don't realize that credit is not just made up of about credit cards and just whatever. So talk a little bit about the credit mix. How's it?
right. So we just talked about the 800 number and why people don't get to the 800 number. And I'm telling you, there's all types of things that these bureaus they look at, and they factor in, and they take into consideration. So when we're talking about credit cards, first of all, your credit report needs to be diversified.
Right.
They look at, and this is the type of debt that you have that makes up 10% of your credit file. So it needs to be diversified. You need to have some installment loans on there. You need to have other different types of things on there, not just
Like
one thing.
revolving credit, closed end loans.
Right.
Opening.
Three three credit cards. Three credit cards. That should be, you can have five, but after three, you're not, but three is a good number. Three is a good number. That is at least three. After, when you have three credit cards, you're getting like the maximum benefit. And if they're on time, no late payments, three credit cards is ideal for your account. Like I said, the types of credit and the debt you have, that makes up 10% of your credit file. Inquiries. Inquiries make up another 10% of your credit file. But you don't want to have a whole bunch of inquiries on your credit. The reason why is that people think when you're fishing for credit and you're looking, they don't think that that's good.
Right.
I don't want to say it shows desperation, but it shows that you're looking, you're looking for credit, you're actively, you're doing, they don't want to see that. So 10% of your credit file is inquiries. 15% is the length of your credit history. This is why people will tell you, do not close your old accounts. Leave them open.
So if you've
Leave
paid
them
it
open.
off, keep it open anyway.
Keep it
Just don't
open.
use it.
Leave it open. And don't use it. If you do use it, keep it under 30%. So when you do, that's another thing with these credit cards. It's not just only the late payments. It's not just only the missed payments. It's utilization as well. If you have a credit card, you need to keep that thing under 30%. So that means if you have a very small limit credit card, maybe $300 or something like that, you can only use $90 off that bad boy.
Right. Right. Right.
You
Right.
do not Want to, it really hurts your credit. It really hurts your credit when you go over that 30%. You want to keep your utilization down. And I know people are like, well, why the hell did they give me this amount?
Right.
I can't max it out. No, no, they hold that against you. Um,
And for those of you that are using credit responsibly, and even if you had that $300 card, like you're now starting out, and you had to use it for something, and that's the problem, right? That's one of the other problems that
mhm,
we didn't talk about yet, because people use a credit card for emergency funds. That's what they do. But what you want to do is to pay that back and get it back down so that when it reports, it doesn't
right,
report that much utilization,
right,
because
right,
like you said, if you got $100 on it and you spend $90, that's 90% of utilization, and they're going to definitely ding you for that.
right, right.
Wow.
So yeah, you don't want to, use your max your
Right.
cards
So we
out.
got history, we got type of credit, we got utilization. What's next?
Inquiries, we have
Inquiries. Okay.
your debt to income ratio. That's
Okay.
30%.
Wow.
So um and this is where we can talk about the student loan forgiveness, because
Okay, good.
a
Good time to get
whole
into that.
we have so many people that have these exorbitant amounts due for student loans. So
Yes.
hopefully they'll get relief, because that factors into you. If you have $100,000 in student loans, it factors into your debt to income ratio.
I,
You
I
have
thought I
all of
read
this.
somewhere I thought I
Mhm.
read somewhere that if you're buying a home, they're not gonna, they weren't thinking of not using student loans. Are they still doing that, or did they ever do that, or
Um, so my understanding, they are. They are using
they're
it.
using it? Oh man.
They are using it. Now, this may change since we have all of this legislation on the table regarding these student loans. Um, but they are taking, I just spoke to a person um, today that sh- she closed on a house and she went through this program, and she was upset that she's already closed and she could not qualify. She qualified for a home. She's in her home. She's very happy about that. But she's saying, Dad, I could have got more home um, if I had just waited, if I or known that, a lot of this student loan debt is going to be forgiven, because it would have brought her debt to income ratio down.
Okay.
So,
Well, you know what? She might have gotten a, she doesn't know it yet, but it might have been a good thing that she didn't get more home. So when it
yeah,
goes down, then that debt to income ratio is going to be even better. It's going to
yeah.
be, balanced even better, because now she doesn't owe as much on home, and she doesn't owe as much on student loans and things like that. So it'll help her. A lot of us try to be house rich, cash poor,
Yeah.
So I
Mm-hmm.
definitely hear that. So great. So now that the person uh, knows that they shouldn't be late, they should pay at least the minimum. Um, don't miss any payments. Pull their credit report and look at it. Look at those 5 things to see what they have or don't have. You know,
Well,
because
we talked about the payment history, which is in there too, but I didn't tell people how what payment history. Now we have these two big things. The debt to income ratio
uh
is
huh.
30%, but payment history is 35. This is why, it's
Wow.
35%. That makes up, that's more than anything in your credit file. So if you start missing payments and start having late payments, that's why they hurt so bad, because your payment history is 35% of your credit file.
Right.
So that's why you cannot afford to miss payments. If you have to make the minimum, make the minimum.
Or
But do
close account.
not, right,
Right.
right.
Right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, what else? What else? When do somebody come to you for help? Do you actually help people with getting their credit straight? And when do they come to you?
Usually people come to me when they want to buy a house.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
And so they want to know. um, where they stand in order to buy a house. And the first thing I do is send them to somebody and a loan officer, because I can look at the credit report and I can tell them, but I want them to hear it from somebody who actually does these loans, who's the people that the lenders that are behind this. And so when they get the report back from the lenders, usually they'll do a soft pull and say, hey, you need to fix A, B, C, and D. It is people can fix their own credit. It takes time. It takes time. It's tedious. But like I said, some of these letters need to have a certain, language in them to be effective.
Right.
People need to know what to do. Some people don't know what to do because there's things that you can do, but you have to know what it is to do. And there's things that you have to know in order to get some of this stuff off successfully. So we have new laws. If people don't know it, they don't know what to do. We have new medical laws. People were complaining about the
Let's
medical
talk
bills.
about some of those new laws. Let's
Yeah.
talk about some of those two new laws about and how that can help some people.
So, and this is very easy. This is what people can do on their own. So, if you have any medical bills this year, what happened was medical bills that were listed on your credit report that were previously in collections, that you paid in full or whatever, they have to come off. They have to come off, and it will not affect your credit. Now, what I will say is, a lot of people don't look at medical bills. A lot of lenders, they're not looking at medical bills and factoring that in. And that's probably why they made the legislation for medical bills, because they're not actually factoring in medical bills to weigh or to gauge your credibility,
Okay.
because anybody can have a medical emergency. So it's not like I got sick on purpose and I went out here and got a medical bill.
Right.
If you have a
Right.
medical bill, that's not something, it's just not like I want a new car and I went out
Right.
here and I'm using my credit or my money irresponsible and I just can't make the payment on a car. Having a medical bill is something, usually something spur of the moment, something spontaneous, and you have this bill. So they don't weigh it a lot as far as your credibility.
So
But
I'm glad that you said that, right? Because there's some people that might have some enormous medical bills and they're thinking, I'm not going to qualify. And by the way, do not ever disqualify yourself. Let them tell you no. Don't ever disqualify yourself. But this is something good for you to know. Like, for instance, you know that I had a grandbaby that was born with some serious challenges because she was born early. I think her bills were in the excess, like $1 million or more or whatever. So if you have a young family that's going through something like that, and it's this also that have been trying to work on getting their homes or something like that, and now this happened, they may think they will not qualify. But the truth of the matter is, lots of creditors are setting that aside and allowing you to go forward. So that's great information.
right, right. And also this is another thing, and this is getting back to knowing what to do. I just worked with someone who had a medical bill. And so you have to know that there are organizations, there are nonprofit organizations, and what they do um, specifically is pay medical bills.
Wow.
Usually you'll find them if you have a medical bill for a child. It's easier to find those organizations that will take on that entire bill if you have a child. And I had someone with a $7,000 medical bill for their child, and we got that thing paid. I knew, wrote a letter, enclosed the information that they asked for. But you have to find these people. There are resources out there that people don't know about
Well, how do
that
they
can
get
help
those
you.
resources?
Well, you have to be looking for them.
Well, do they
That's
call Miss Tiffany Banks Parker, and does she have a list of things to give them for a price or something?
Well, actually, I don't. And so, what I do, because I'm a researcher at heart, so I look for these things. I say, oh, okay, I think I've heard something about, nonprofits that pay medical bills. And I started looking. And lo and behold, there's this fund. uh, that's what they do. So you have to look for. You have. It takes a lot of research. It takes time. I'm on this computer all day, sometimes googling and getting this number and calling this place, and they're sending me to somewhere else. So I'm looking for the information because I want to try to help people the best that I can. But it's out there. There's resources that you don't know about that are out there.
So they have to put in the work. And what I know a lot of times though, when you find something, you share it on your page. Y'all go friend Miss Tiffany Jackson,
Mm-hmm.
Miss Tiffany Parker Banks. Go friend her, or at least join the Black Owners Network, Black Owned Business Network page.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're now trying to start a business, but by the way, one of the things that Tiffany does is she helps you get your business started. If And she will tell you this is stuff that you can do on your own. But if you don't want to do it on your own or you need guidance, she's there. Can you tell them how to get in touch with you if they would like for you to guide them um, with some of these things?
Um, you can. I don't want to get on my phone, but so you can inbox me on my personal page on Facebook, and it is Tiffany Banks Parker. My face is up there. You can also inbox me on the Black Owned Business Network. I am usually answering the messages or responding back to the messages on the Black Owned Business Network. I'm not sure if I can put a link down here. Can you put a link in there?
Yeah, we can, for the Black Owned Business Network.
Can I do it or do
Yeah,
you
you
do
should
it?
be able to do it.
Okay, so it's going to be, I'll put a link in here.
And if
Okay.
it doesn't show up everywhere, I'll make sure that it's shared. And I'll share it on my page
Okay, so
about how.
that's the link to the Black Owned Business Network page. And you can send me a message there. Um, and I usually respond maybe within 24 hours or whatever. And then we can go from there with the contact information. I have an email address as well. Um, if you just want to email me directly, that is my real estate email address. So you can send me a message directly through the Black on Business Network or through my personal email. It doesn't matter, but I'll respond. Usually I respond right away to my email, my Metro Brokers email address, and the Black on Business Network. Usually I respond within 24 hours. We have a couple of admins there on that page, but usually I'm the person that's responding to messages. You can put my name in there or whatever, and I'll get back with you. If you have any questions or if you want to schedule a consultation with me or whatever, we can set all of that up.
Okay. I am not a um, guru of credit, so I don't want to leave any things on the table. So, you shared a little bit about the new laws with the medical information, and you talked a little bit about student loans. Um, um, and if you have been under a rock and you don't know, um, at Black Business Owned Network, she has this posted there as well. I think it's on my page as well. They're going to go ahead and get rid of $10,000 if you make up to 125,000, 250,000 for spouses, and it's going to go based on your tax return from last year or last 2 to 3 years that you have filed, and then 20,000 for people who went to school on Pell Grants
Right.
with the same income limit. So, um, but that information is out there. You want to go ahead and jump on that and see what you can do.
Yeah.
As for
And for people who don't fall into any of that, who didn't who are not going to get the $10,000, who did not have the Pell Grant and not going to get $20,000, there's a form that's going there right now. There's borrower's defense, and that's another forgiveness. And I think that was maybe a couple of months ago or
months ago, yeah.
whatever. So if you feel that your school made you promises, there's a whole list of schools on there. So be sure to check out those lists and see if you qualify for the borrower's defense forgiveness as well. Also, what happens, what we're waiting on is the people who are going to get this $10,000 and $20,000. The information that the Department of Education, if they already have your information, that's a lot of people. Then what they're saying right now is you don't have to do anything.
Right.
It'll get forgiven. You don't have to go through any paperwork or anything like that. In case they don't have your information and they need something, you're going to have to wait till October. October, they're going to roll out a form that you're going to have to fill out, and then the process goes from there.
That's great information. Now, here's my question. Um, if you submitted something on the borrower's defense where they were, getting rid of some of that money, can you also qualify for if you have more student loan beyond that? Can you also qualify for the this 10,000 or 20,000 that Biden is doing? It's not an either or kind of thing.
No.
Awesome. That's good
Some
information
some
too.
people will some people will actually get the entirety of their loans forgiven.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
some people will get the entirety of their loans forgiven. And like
Now,
I said, that would be in terms of credit, that is going to be good for your debt to income ratio.
and I'm going to say this for people, those people that went to school, law degrees or doctors or stuff like that, and you have $250,000, $250,000 worth in loans, over $100,000 worth of student loans. Guys, you want to get with me? I help people to eliminate their debt in 9 years or less, including student loans. So we can talk about what else can you do to be able to get rid of that. Because if you have that kind of student loan, it's going to last over 30 years and you're likely going to take it into retirement. And what I do is show people how to get rid of that debt in less than 10 years. Sometimes it may take a little bit longer, but now you can get rid of it before retirement, and you can now shift that money toward retirement and legacy building and things like that. So let's talk about what you can do. Do not count yourself out. Also, I'm going to put a link out here for the budget. Budget is very important.
It
And,
is.
sometimes you see budgets, but it doesn't have enough information. Sometimes you look at a budget, you go, this doesn't even apply to me, what they're saying here. You want something that is really going to hold your hand and guide you. I'm going to put a link to a budget that you can click and download for yourself to help you or to help your teenagers and stuff like that. Because as the CEO said today, your budget, that's where it all starts. Spending
Your
plan.
budget. First thing you need to do is get started, and know where you stand. Check your credit score. Order your credit reports. Sign up for some. Look, Credit Karma is no good. I just want to put that out there. You need
Please, yes,
something.
let
You
them
need
know that.
something other than Credit Karma. You don't need to be going on there disputing anything. You don't do disputes online. Number one is it's frivolous. It does not. You need a paper trail. Whenever you are disputing things, you need something in writing. You need a paper trail. Those people can say, I did it. They got back in 30 days or whatever. So you don't ever want to be disputing anything online if you are working on your own credit. But the first thing is to know your credit score. Credit Karma does not have accurate scores. You need to sign up with someone that has accurate scores, real time or whatever. Personally, I tell people to sign up with Identity IQ, and it gives you current. You refresh it. It's going to give you all of the information you need. But find you one. It's
Is
your
that a
choice.
cost? Is there a cost for that?
It is a cost for it.
Okay.
I want to say it's about 29.99 a month. for to monitor your credit report. But get with something other than
Credit
Credit
Karma.
Karma. Get with that. Don't take any of that stuff that Credit Karma is offering. No, do not credit cards, anything like that. Stay away from that.
They
Um,
don't understand that Credit Karma is really a lead generation system. So
yeah,
that basically, when you put your stuff in there, they sell that to the credit card companies, so the credit card companies
right.
can market to you.
Right, and then you start getting all these emails and all of this stuff from people trying to give you a credit card that you don't need, that probably has horrible terms. So yeah, you don't want to be doing that. So first, you get started, get your credit report, know your score, get your budget down, do the things that you can do without money to raise your credit score. And the thing that I mentioned, I'm going to go back here, is you take advantage of the new laws that are coming in place. The first thing you can do that doesn't cost you anything is if you have medical bills on there, know that if you paid them off, they have to come off your credit report. Also, beginning next quarter of next year, the first quarter of 2023, if you have a medical bill that is on your credit that is unpaid, it's delinquent, and it's $500 or less, it has to come off. They cannot report those bills anymore. If you
Awesome.
have medical bills that are due and they're delinquent as well, starting next year, you're going to have a full year. It used to be 6 months, and then that it goes on your credit report. That medical bill, it goes on there. It goes as a collection or whatever. It's no longer 6 months. It's a year now. So you'll have a full year to try to negotiate, settle, uh, get with your insurance company to see what they're going to do about the bill. Take advantage of that time. That's something that you can do for free. You don't have to pay anybody. That's something you can do on your own. Try to prevent medical collections from getting on your credit. You don't have a whole year
And that's
to
a good,
try to
that's
negotiate.
that very good. I'm glad you said that, because that's the other thing, guys. Do not just, sometimes these credit reports, I mean credit thing, just pop up on your credit and like you didn't even know about it or something like that, because the doctor's office let it run 30, 60, 90, and then they report it, and you didn't even know because you thought your insurance took care of it and stuff like that. Call the doctor's office and try to negotiate with those things. Look online for what is called the fair market price for certain procedures and tell them that that's what you're going to pay. Don't ask them. Tell them this is what I'm going to pay. You got it. Sometimes you got to do that. The other
Right,
thing is the other thing is making sure that you know talk a little bit about that. Didn't something come out where people cannot just go buy a bunch of collection accounts and then come to get it from you when they can't even verify that you owe the bill?
right. So a lot of people say don't ever pay collections. I think there's some truth to that, but when your account goes into collections, there's certain things that you can do because like I said, there's language. When you get credit from someone, that's like a contract. You are saying that I'm going to pay you. You've extended me credit. I'm going to use it and I'm going to pay you back. I'm going to pay you on time or whatever. But when it's sold off to a collection company or whatever, and they're trying to collect, well, you didn't make the contract with them. You contracted with someone else. Someone else extended you the credit. So you want to always, before you pay a collection agency, you want to try to validate that debt. You want to try to make sure that they are um, legally able to obtain that money from you. And that's where that language comes in. I want to back it up just a little bit. You said something about a medical bill. If you have a medical procedure and you have not been notified of that bill, you just think that insurance has taken care of it, like she said, and then bam, you have a bill on your credit report that they never told you that you owe. Well, that's unlawful. It's not legal to do that. They have to let you know. You just cannot all of a sudden get a medical bill that you were unaware that you owed for on your credit report. So, people need to know these things. You could make them prove it that they sent you this bill. Make them prove it. They should be able to go back. That's why when you're dealing with credit, you want everything to
In
be
writing.
in writing. You want a paper trail and everything, because that's what you're asking the other end to do. Prove your paper trail.
Right. I
Prove
also
it to
wanted
me.
to go back to this. I read somewhere a while ago. I think I did something a little bit on credit because I try to share as much information. I like you. I research a lot, and then
Mhm.
I would share that information once I realized that information is credible. But I think it's something like 4 out of 5 of us have errors on our credit report.
Right, right.
We
And
have
that's
old information on there that's not supposed to be on there. We have to talk a little bit about that, please.
yep, 4 out of 5. There it can be the wrong account number. People have duplicates on there. I see that all the time. People have duplicates. People have several collection agencies collecting on where it has been sold multiple times, and but everything is showing. The every collection agency is showing for this same debt that continues to be sold. There's a bunch of errors that you can find on your credit report, and that'll that takes down off of some of the work. If you know
Right.
what to look for and you can find these errors, then bam, you say, hey, this is not right, and they have to remove it off.
And guys, a big
It's
thing.
not accurate. It's not factual or accurate information.
Right. So, one of the things I want to do is, do you have those resources for people to and I think I might have some of them, so I'll probably share as well. They are some, like Tiffany said, you have to have specific language when you write to have those things removed. So like old addresses, you haven't been there in 20 years, you want that off of your account. You people sometimes they mix you up with somebody else because you guys have the same name, and I this happens a lot with seniors and juniors.
Yeah, it happens a lot with common names as well.
Yeah.
So you want to be looking out for that, because my name is Tiffany. It was Tiffany M. Banks. It's Tiffany Banks Parker now, but my name is Tiffany M. Banks. And so for some reason, I was getting Tiffany C. Banks information on my credit report at one time. So it can be something just as simple as a middle initial or whatever, or a common name. My two oldest sons have almost identical social security numbers,
Wow.
and they have the same first initial and the same last name. So both of them are their both first names start with J, and both of their last names is Banks.
Right.
So, and like I said, their social security numbers were like, like one digit off in the middle and one digit off, and for the last four. So it's
Hmm.
things like that. They can get other people, merging
Right. Right.
information can be merged into your report. You just need to pay attention.
I
Um,
know. I actually know for our social security, we are what you call it, transplants to the country where we
mhm,
came. And we came in from New York. So my mom's social security number, my social security number, my brother's social security, they're all, the first 6 digits are all the same, and then they
wow.
just a little bit off in the last 4 digits. And so, and then that's why anytime somebody sees my social security, they go, "Oh, you're from New York," because different parts of the country, depending on where the
Mhm.
numbers can
Yeah, you can
identify
tell. You can tell
where you're
from
from.
the first three digits where
Yeah.
where someone's social security number was issued from.
Right, right,
Mhm.
right. All right. So this was some good information. Would you like some to share anything else that I may have missed in asking you, and or any parting words or anything that you'd like to share?
So again, if you need to reach out for me for your business consulting needs, your real estate needs, your credit needs, or whatever, I have provided my email address. Also, I have the link to the Black Owned Business Network. You can shoot me a message in the inbox there. Um, if you want to undertake fixing your own credit yourself, because you can, it's tedious and it's time consuming. It is not a 30-day thing, regardless of what people tell you. It takes a little while longer, especially when you start dealing with complicated things, like bankruptcies, like judgments, like foreclosures or whatever. So you want to, with those things, you can also work on those things too if you know what to do. But if you have things on there and you say, hey, I think I can do this myself, what I'll do is I will put together a packet of letters, of templates that people can use. They'll have to, insert their own information in there, but it'll be like a blueprint of the letters that they can send off, and they can start working to get whatever needs to be fixed or, done with their credit.
And
So,
I like that because, many of us, there's so much information, so much information. There's also so much misinformation. And sometimes we don't know who to trust. And I wanted to bring you on here so that people could see you as one of those trusted people that they can go to. I like the fact that you were like, no, I don't charge for whatever. I don't charge for that. But you know what? The fact that you're doing that research, that's your time that's involved and things like that. So even if it's a minimal something, people that are listening today may want to know, hey, well, is there some specific words that I need to say for this specific thing? Or is there something that I need to say for this? And having those, like you doing the templates or whatever and putting that together, I think that would be good. Whether we do it where there's a some kind of minimal cost or something like that for them to help
yeah,
or
that'll definitely that'll work. I don't want to um hit anybody over the head, because again, we're talking about people who are credit challenged.
right, right,
So it and like I said, my job is to my primary job now is to help people buy homes.
right.
It's in my interest to make sure
That
that
their
your
credit is
credit
good.
is up to par.
Exactly,
So
exactly.
I don't have a desire to try to charge you some very absorbent fees, or to scam you or run off with your money, because I want to keep you there, because I want to eventually sell you a product. I want to sell you a product that will help you create wealth.
Right.
And so that's what I want to see you succeed. It's just not any product, it's a product that can help you create wealth. That, so I want to get you in a home. So I have an interest in seeing you improve in the area of credit worthiness.
Yes, yes, yes. That is awesome. So next week you will be back to talk to us a little bit about business credit, because there are many business owners that are having problems um getting funding or getting credit for certain things. They may not know where to start. And again, there's so much information, so much misinformation. You don't know who to trust, like Bob Marley says. You don't know who to trust. And
Yeah.
so I'm good. I'm looking forward to having you back. Come back and talk to us. You want to give us a little tease about what you're going to be talking about?
Well, next week when I talk about business credit, I'll be talking about a variety of things, but I will definitely be discussing the misuse of business credit. Because that's a big thing now.
That's important.
So yeah, I want to talk about that, um, because it's deep and it's happening. And
Right. And
I'll give people, I'll give people some examples. I see them every day. I want people to understand that credit, any type of credit, whether it's personal credit or whether it's business credit and money goes hand in hand. It goes hand in hand. If I can get you up to an 800 credit score, and then you go out and you say, hey, I have an 800, and people, start throwing money at you, start throwing credit cards, luxury cars at you. If you don't have the money
be right back
to
where you started.
maintain that credit, then you're right back in square one. So you have to be very careful when you get to the credit score that's going to enable you to do all of these things, to use it very, very wisely. Because if it's, you have good credit, but you don't have money, then how are you going to pay this credit card, this $25,000 card that these people made,
Right,
this
right,
fifty
right.
thousand that
I
these
can't
people made.
wait.
So yeah.
I can't wait for us to get into that. It's my pet peeve. I'm telling you right now. It's my
Yeah.
pet peeve when I see people that, they're working to get up their credit, and then the first thing that they buy is a liability of a big
Right.
fancy car. Why?
Right. And then
Why?
you have people that, I see it all the time. I can help you get XYZ amount of business credit, and they are helping people get it, but they are not being honest with people, and they're not educating people about credit. The main reason why people have bad credit is because they haven't been educated about credit.
Right,
So now you're telling them that you can do. It's just like, if I go get plastic surgery, um but my eating habits remain the same.
right,
So I get the surgery, I've lost the weight or whatever, but I'm still eating the same way. I have to change my habits. So people have to change their spending habits. They have to change their thinking habits when it, comes to credit. So we have people out here that they have all this money and they're doing the same thing that they did to have bad personal credit, but they're doing it to
right.
their business credit.
Exactly, exactly. Wonderful. Well, I look forward to having you on here next week, Miss Tiffany. Um, Thanks everyone that joined in and out. This is a great conversation to go back and look at, and figure out some of the resources that we said we would share. Look out for those things, but um, share the live with someone. It might not be you, someone else may need it. You might not even know that someone, and if you just use that your finger and hit that click, there's somebody waiting for that information from you. So go ahead and share that. I am Carmen Bernard. I'm here each and every Wednesday, at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, just talking about anything wealth, anything legacy, anything understanding how money works and understanding how to make money work for you. Um, I want to tell you that starting tomorrow, September 1st, is Life Insurance Awareness Month. So if you guys tune in, because I'm going to be sharing something every single day, whether it's a live or a video, something about life insurance, because I am not going to stop talking about life insurance until you stop dying without it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you continue to die without life insurance, you're going to continue to hear from me. And Life Insurance Awareness Month is a very good time for us to talk about it for 30 days straight. I want to help at least 30 families. So let's get this done. Thanks and bye bye.
Okay. Right. Bye bye. Feel better, Miss Carmen.
Oh my gosh.